This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Tonight on The South Today, a maelstrom of inclement weather has been felt all across the country. It was the East Coast that wore the worst of it. And no matter who you are, we all need some loving care, even if you are a penguin. And one small step for a mouse may be its last, as one New Zealand island edges towards being predator-free. And a very good evening, I'm Craig Story. The weather bomb that was predicted to hit the south arrived with gale force winds mid-morning. Flights were delayed, trees have been uprooted and power was cut to many areas across the southern region. The effects of the weather bomb have been mainly felt on the east coast.
Gimme shelter. Gale force winds belted the south of the South Island today as predicted weather bomb hit the region with a vengeance. Tourists in Dunedin scrambled for cover as the first wave of high winds and horizontal rain hit.
Oh, it's fantastic. It's the best weather we've seen. It's terrible. It's like the middle of Europe.
Invigorating. Respecting the summer and we got winter. And we are very unhappy but still smiling.
Pretty much knew it was going to be cold. It's quite fun. A little bit windy, cold a little bit. But it's quite amazing, so I'm enjoying it.
The southerly front brought winds of up to 135 kilometres an hour across Otago this morning, bringing down trees and branches across the region, including in Roxburgh and North Otago. A power line came down in Outram, electrifying a fence and setting hay bales on fire while damaging a shed. Invercargill bore the brunt of the bomb overnight with 100 km/h winds and heavy rain. The Waimakariri, Hurunui and Waiau rivers were swollen torrents with spillover rain from the west coast, and they were carrying lots of debris and trees torn from their banks. Dunedin hydrologist Dave Stewart is baffled by the spring-like weather.
The rain is good to try and wet the region up again, but no, the unprecedented cold is just nasty.
He says it's not looking good for the next few days, with a developing system building up in Australia and heading this way.
But at the moment it looks like another significant storm that will come in and give us probably more rain than what we've had with this one, but it's also likely to bring gale force winds with it by the looks of it as well.
The influence of an El Nino event for the last 12 months saw unusual weather patterns emerging. And instead of being warmer, it's colder. The Green Party released a statement saying this kind of weather will become more common if nothing is done about climate change. Stewart vehemently disagrees.
It has nothing to do with climate change. It is just crap to even say that. It is mischievous and those people should know better.
The worst of the storm had cleared Invercargill by lunchtime, revealing a mostly dry steel umbrella. In Dunedin, the worst of the storm appeared to have subsided by mid-afternoon. Daryl Baser, The South Today.
A Dunedin road has been closed after two cars crashed this afternoon. A spokeswoman says police responded to reports of two cars crashing on 3 Mile Hill Road near Halfway Bush Road just after 3 p.m. Police and the fire service attended the accident just after 3:10. It appears one of the vehicles has crossed the centre line as there are signs of a head-on collision. Police have closed 3 Mile Hill Road and diversions are in place down Dalziel Road while the police serious crash unit investigate the scene. Injured penguins in Dunedin have a place to recuperate, to lick their wounds and to sit out the bad weather. A makeshift hospital has been established at Otago Polytechnic's School of Veterinary Nursing, where staff will be caring for injured birds, including yellow-eyed penguins, for the next 6 weeks.
A temporary hospital's just the place for these injured soldiers of the wild to hunker down during Dunedin's weather bomb. The hoiho, or yellow-eyed penguin, is just one of the breeds being welcomed to Otago Polytechnic's School of Veterinary Nursing. I'm Roselle Lavone. I'm here with Lisa and Victoria at the pop-up penguin hospital at the Otago Polytechnic School of Veterinary Nursing. And it's only been open for a week, but they're expecting over the next 5 weeks to have all these cages filled. Wildlife veterinarian Lisa Argilla has moved to Dunedin for a second summer to take care of the injured birds.
Feet are very important for these guys. Obviously they do a lot of swimming, and they need their feet for steering and standing and walking. Yellow-eyed penguins will nest quite far away from the water, so they need to be able to have really good feet so that they can walk to their nests. So we need to make sure that we get her foot sort of up in tip-top shape so that she can continue to be a successful breeder.
Argilla says it's especially important to take special care of female yellow-eyed penguins as numbers in the wild are decreasing. There are only 226 breeding pairs left on mainland New Zealand. The lowest penguin numbers have been in 25 years. A group of surfers brought this bird to the facility after it was found following a barracuda attack.
When that fracture heals, it's actually going to end up incorporating the bones on either side of it, so that's going to end up ankylosing that toe. And if that happens naturally, that'll be good. That means I don't have to do it surgically, but if that doesn't happen, I'll have to do it surgically.
The hospital is also nursing this young crested penguin back to health after it sustained an abdominal injury near its home. The injured birds were previously sent to Wellington or Palmerston North for care. But with less distance for these penguins to travel, they're able to start intravenous antibiotics much sooner and have a much greater chance of making a full recovery. Roselle LeBone, The South Today.
A cute story. It's a case of pleased to meet you in Tapanui with the opening of a new butchery in the West Otago town. Blue Mountain butchery owner Vaughan Wesselson opened the doors to his new business venture recently, describing the first week of trading as absolute mayhem. He's turned his passion for small goods into a business, going from making sausages for family and friends to supplying the whole town. Wesselson says before opening the butchery he's been a nutrition specialist and owned a dairy farm in the area. And we are one step closer to the government's goal of a predator-free island of New Zealand by 2050. The Antipodes Islands Mouse Eradication Project was a partnership between the Department of Conservation and the Morgan Foundation, and they're checking in to see if they've made the sub-Antarctic islands predator-free.
Mice, when introduced to a predator-free environment, can wreak havoc amongst the native wildlife. Hi, I'm Ruby Spinkin in Invercargill, outside the Department of Conservation, where the planning was done for the Mice Eradication Project on the Antipodes Islands. The name of the project tells you all you need to know about their goal, but Stephen Horn says the execution was not as simple.
The logistics are really complicated. We had to get 3 helicopters, 65 tonne of bait, a team of 13 people, and all the gear to support those people on the island for 3 months, down to a small place with no boat harbour.
He says it took 2.5 years of planning before a team of 13 took to the sub-Antarctic island for nearly 3 months. Horn says the eradication project was a unique experience.
It's pretty intense, there's not much of a break, but I really enjoy that aspect of it, the community aspect of getting to know people and kind of working towards a common goal is really satisfying, and you build up a rapport with the guys over a period of time that it's hard to match that in other parts of your life.
$3.9 million was set aside for this project from a mixture of government funding, the Morgan Foundation, and a public funding campaign, the $1 Million Mouse. It was done under budget with only $3.1 million spent, but the project's not over yet.
We got down to 0 sign, but mice are extremely hard to detect at low density, and about 1/3 of the island is inaccessible because it's either steep slopes or cliffs, and the vegetation is really hard to get through. So we won't be able to tell whether we've been successful for about 2 years.
Teams will go back next year to check on the mice populations. I'm Ruby Spink for The South Today.
Still to come on The South Today, the force is strong with these young people. They're flying drones. And the South Today reporter Mark Price says, well, he plays down the weather from the Haast.
Emu oil has been used for centuries to support joint mobility and tired muscles. Also helpful for supporting healthy skin. Available as oil or in capsules. Go to www.silberhorn.co.nz to order emu oil today.
every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
Arrow International knows what the essential ingredient is for accomplishing great projects, working with great people. 30 years on and 3,000 projects later, with 10 offices and 400 staff nationwide, a company who values partnerships with their clients and carries a strong reputation for passion, integrity, and the love of a challenge, excelling in the construction industry and helping to create, with our partners, more iconic New Zealand buildings.
Grandad loved his family and surfing, in that order. He taught me to surf, and we spent a lot of time in the water together over the years. When he died, I strapped the camera to the nose of his old board and filmed the paddle out at St. Clair. Gillian's played the video on the big screen at his funeral. Grandad would have loved having everyone come out one last surf for them.
Gillian's Funeral Services, helping families celebrate the lives of their loved ones for generations. Gillians.co.nz.
Active Furnishers Limited, home of quality service with superior product and an in-house design team who are always happy to advise and create an imaginative solution for you. Active Furnishers Limited, part of Dunedin's design history.
Got the rallies coming to stay these holidays, but the lawn's looking a mess. Call the team at Ready Lawn, open right through Christmas and New Year.
From rare to the recent, visit the legendary Hard to Find for your quality second-hand books. With the largest stock in New Zealand and a friendly book-loving atmosphere. For good prices, buying or selling, come visit 20 Dowling Street.
Yes, Sunny Chin!
Neck, shoulder, back, sciatica, pain specialists. Innovative tools specifically designed to contour your grooves of depletion and excess muscle buildup.
Sunny Chin, it works.
Ecro Tech Limited have been supplying beekeeping equipment and honey products in New Zealand for over 100 years. A specialist manufacturer of hiveware and plastic products for the beekeeping industry. They are the leading supplier of beekeeping equipment nationwide. For all your beekeeping needs, visit ecrotech.co.nz or call 0800 117766.
When it's time to say goodbye to your pet, Heaven Sent Pet Cremations are here to help you through this difficult experience. Call Heaven Sent Pet Cremations today for their care and guidance. Phone 489 2274.
Put your seatbelts on for this one and rev it up. Thursday night is Motorsport Night. Proudly brought to you by multi-award-winning Garrador.
Welcome back to the South Today. Despite today's less than ideal flying conditions, Dunedin's hands-on science holiday program still managed to fly drones, albeit inside. But they weren't controlling the aircraft in the ordinary fashion. This group of school-aged children attempted to use mind over matter philosophy when they were given the chance to try and fly a drone using brain power. The force is obviously strong with this young woman. She is amongst a group who will be given special devices to put on their heads using to brain control a drone. Around 10 or so youngsters were in on the program, and the choice to fly inside suited the tutors as they were able to keep a closer eye on the machines and their young pilots. The Queenstown Lakes District Council is trialling new high-tech rubbish bins in the town's busy Earnslaw Park area. The 3-month trial is expected to test whether the new smart bins cope with the increasing amounts of rubbish being generated by an increasing tourist flow. Mina Amso has more.
These rubbish bins look ordinary, but deep inside they can do things that normal rubbish bins can't. Starting this week, Queenstown Lakes District Council will be trialling these smart rubbish bins to see if they cope better with waste management in the busy resort town. The QLDC says how the bins work is quite complex.
Got the little solar panel on the top of them, so we're connected up to those via a cloud-based system, so they tell us when they're full. We obviously know once they've been emptied, and we can track how often we need to empty them, whether we need to increase our collection cycles, decrease our collection cycles.
The compaction mechanism operates when an alarm inside the bin goes off, telling the machine to squash the rubbish inside.
The system's got a small computer inside of it that connects based to a cloud-based asset management system, which gives us real-time data back in the office for us and more importantly for our contractors to know how full those bins are and when they're coming up to the point where they need to be emptied.
So why the complex technology? Well, as Queenstown gets busier with tourists, the amount of rubbish and waste they produce increases. Rubbish bins are currently emptied at least 4 times a day in the busy areas of town. That's 4 times the standard once-a-day collection in other areas. So waste management is a $7 million operation for the council.
Across all of council's waste operations, which includes our collections, our curbside, our landfill. So it's quite an expensive operation for us.
These smart bins cost $10,000 each. But if the council were to go ahead with them, they would lease them at $85 a week for each double bin.
What we'll be looking at over the next 3 months is whether or not that cost is offset in having less collections for the bins, which would obviously bring the collection costs of them down.
Hello, Mina Amso in Queenstown, and I'm standing next to the, smart bins. That's what they call them. They're meant to be better than the old bins.
These bins are 125 litres, which isn't a huge actual bin size, but once the compaction side of it kicks into gear, they compact down, they actually take up to 600 litres of rubbish. So that's about 5 times what a number of our bins around the CBD are.
These bins were first introduced to the country in Taupo in 2010. However, Queenstown is the first town, the South Island, to have them on. Mina Amso, The South Today.
After the break on The South Today, the Southern DHB trials a different approach to healthcare, and I'll Gandalf the weather for the rest of the week.
Emu oil has been used for centuries to support joint mobility and tired muscles. Also helpful for supporting healthy skin. Available as oil or in capsules, go to www.silberhorn.co.nz to order emu oil today.
Got the rallies coming to stay these holidays, but the lawn's looking a mess? Call the team at Really Lawn, open right through Christmas and New Year.
Active Furnishers Limited, home of quality service with superior product and an in-house design team who are always happy to advise and create an imaginative solution for you. Active Furnishers Limited, part of Dunedin's design history.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
Ecro Tech Limited have been supplying beekeeping equipment and honey products in New Zealand for over 100 years. A specialist manufacturer of hiveware and plastic products for the beekeeping industry. They are the leading supplier of beekeeping equipment nationwide. For all your beekeeping needs, visit ecrotech.co.nz or call 0800 117766.
Arrow International knows what the essential ingredient is for accomplishing great projects, working with great people. 30 years on and 3,000 projects later, with 10 offices and 400 staff nationwide, a company who values partnerships with their clients and carries a strong reputation for passion, integrity, and the love of a challenge, excelling in the construction industry and helping to create, with our partners, more iconic New Zealand buildings.
Yes, sunny chin.
Neck, shoulder, back, sciatica, pain specialists. Innovative tools specifically designed to contour your grooves of depletion and excess muscle buildup.
Sunny chin. It works.
From rare to the recent, visit the legendary Hard to Find for your quality second-hand books. With the largest stock of New Zealand and a friendly book-loving atmosphere. For good prices, buying or selling, come visit 20 Dowling Street.
Put your seatbelts on for this one and rev it up. Thursday night is Motorsport Night. Proudly brought to you by multi-award-winning Garrador.
Welcome back to the South today. I hope you're staying dry. Well, there were blue skies over the Haast today, while in some parts today's weather bomb brought high winds. In other areas, it's been called a bomb low. The event somehow missed the little south-westland town with the big reputation for big rain. However, in Haast, there was a bit of a fizzer. Mark Price reports.
The headwaters of the Haast River beneath the gates of Haast Bridge was flowing strong this afternoon, but that's not unusual. I'm Mark Price near Haast, where there's nothing but sunshine and a few sandflies today, but last night there were brief periods of torrential rain, just the edge of the bomb. Torrential for a while, but it didn't last long. 50 millimetres or a couple of inches was all that landed in Cherie Wright's rain gauge.
Yeah, more like a wetting drizzle really. Because when someone gives us a heavy rainfall, we're kind of like, oh yeah, how's heavy that, because we see a lot of heavy rain. But it was, a bit of a letdown really, but, safety-wise, really good.
Eamon Johnson, owner of the Haast Garage, has been rescuing tourists for about 35 years, and yesterday was just another day at the office.
One of them ran off the road, but the other two basically got onto what they thought was the hard shoulder, to find out it was something akin to a skating rink. So it's just that green, grassy, mossy rubbish on the side, and it's just, they got off there and it's just off into the ditch. And so that was just 3 in a row, really.
A stream of tourists have been lapping up the photo opportunities, and staff at the Prickly Gorse this morning found there was generally just one main comment, as usual.
It's raining. Is it always this wet?
Geologist for hire Mike Pole was in his element. He bought, on purpose, a swamp in Haast because...
It's exciting. New Zealand actually has weather. I've spent the last 10-15 years or so in Brisbane, where you can go months and nothing happens. It's absolutely nothing happens. It's just clear blue skies, and then when the rain happens, all hell breaks loose for 45 minutes, and then it's all over.
Haast residents say they're expecting more rain, though exactly when and how much they're not willing to predict. I'm Mark Price for the South Today.
A new approach to mental health care is being introduced by the Southern DHB following successful trials in the UK. The program at the Wakari Hospital, called Safe Wards, is so far proving a positive alternative to more conventional treatments.
Pictures of the often invisible faces behind inpatient mental health care displayed on the wall of Block 9C at Wakari Hospital. The Southern DHB is working to remove barriers between patients and the staff who guide them to recovery. Safe Wards uses a set of 10 interventions with an aim to reduce and improve staff response to conflict. The effects of the initiative are readily becoming apparent.
Patients, the service users really responded well to the fact that we were being a lot more open about what was happening day to day on the ward.
Some of these patients have returned many times to Wakari. and the program is giving them a chance to express their positive and negative emotions about the time spent in care through creative outlets such as the Hope Tree. In this way, both the patient and staff member get to know each other.
Having that information readily available for service users when they come on the ward, so they know who's working with them, they know the staff a little more. Often patients will come onto a ward and the staff will know lots about them, but the patients will know little about the staff that's working with them, and it's often just about building that initial rapport, having things in common with people, and just presenting ourselves as people rather than a uniform or a badge.
By giving mental health a face and a voice, the DHB says Safe Wards is a springboard to start a conversation which can facilitate and expedite the healing process. Roselle LeBone, The South Today.
And now recapping tonight's top stories on The South Today. The predicted weather bomb hit some parts of the South Island with force strong enough to uproot trees and knock out power to some areas. Southern penguins have somewhere to recuperate and recover as the School of Veterinary Nursing at Otago Polytechnic has just opened a penguin hospital. And New Zealand is one step closer to the government's goal of a predator-free New Zealand by 2050, thanks to a southern mouse eradication project. And now it's time to have a look at what's happening in tomorrow's Otago Daily Times. Welcome, Editor Barry Stewart. How are you, sir?
Good, Craig. Thank you. Good to be here. A new design for Dunedin's 5-star hotel has been released, and we have the exclusive images in the ODT tomorrow, so have a look out for that. The first ones were somewhat controversial. This is a different approach. We have, of course, coverage of the weather bomb, which caused, as already reported, lots of damage in the south and excitement. So we have that well-known Waitati building, the Dome, which is a home, is burnt to the ground this afternoon, so that's a disappointing story there.
Oh, goodness.
Highlanders news, rugby news, it's nearly that time again. They're back in training. Hayden Parker, we believe, could be out for the season with an injury, which is an unfortunate trail of events. He missed the previous 2 years with injury, so he's not having much luck. But some good news is Marty Banks, who we believe was off to an Italian club, is back training with the Highlanders, so maybe he is back.
Good news and good reading in the Otago Daily Times tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. All right, folks, prepare yourself. Let's have a look at tomorrow's weather.
The South Today weather update proudly brought to you in association with Silberhorn's Emu Oil.
Starting with today's southern view taken of the Oreti River estuary post-weather bomb. Looking at the situation now, rain and gales as a nasty low pressure system races away, leaving cold southwesterlies in its wake. A ridge of high pressure moves in on Friday, but another incoming depression arrives on Sunday. It deepens, bringing unwanted moist conditions and strong winds. Balclutha, Catlins, Lumsden and Gore decreasing southwesterlies across the board, temperatures 14 degrees. To the central outlook, Alexandra, Queenstown, Taianao and Wanaka, light southwesterlies, fine conditions mostly, 14 to 18 degrees for you. And looking to the northern region, Oamaru, Marama, Timaru and Twizel, light southwesterlies, fine conditions, mostly 17 degrees. Here in Dunedin tonight, becoming fine, strong, gusty, cold southwesterlies, although anything remaining will ease, an overnight low of 6, but Friday brings showers at first, clearing, cloud will be breaking, sunny periods developing, 9 then 14, and on Saturday sunny periods, cloud increasing, nor'easterlies freshening, rain from the evening. 6 tonight. And for Invercargill tonight, showers clearing with strong, gusty, cold southwesters, but they will be easing. Friday, showers clearing, sunny periods developing, cold southwesterlies dying out, 9 and 12. And on Saturday, milder northerlies freshening, cloud increasing, some rain from the evening, 9 and 15. And on behalf of the hard-working team of The South Today, I'm Craig Story. It's been my privilege. Thank you. Good evening.
This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.